So, for those that continue to focus their energy on living the best life under these circumstances, I guess you must be okay with this being our future, right? Oh, by the way, as Trudeau and the gang roll out the beginnings of digital ID that will, conveniently hold all of your information, just remember, you've surrendered your right to oppose it. Sure, it may not seem like a big deal now. After all, your digital ID, it won't be used for much, okay? Not initially anyway. So like, if you're a small business owner, for example, hooray for digital ID. I mean, it makes doing business more efficient, okay? But you may not like it much when your credit score is attached to it for everyone to see. Or when a record of that drunk driving mistake, you made, it's etched on your digital ID. You literally had one beer, and blew over. You may not like it when that assault charge is on there for all to see. I know. You punched out a guy who grabbed your sister's ass at a lounge. Yes, he deserved it. But thing is, now the assault, it's on your ID. Remember, okay, digital ID is good. Eventually, it'll tell us like how many speeding tickets you have and how many charges for late payments, how many times you played VLTs, how many times you buy weed or alcohol, how many times you watch porn, how many times you attend church, your internet viewing history, you name it. The ID will show it. Phase 1 is underway, okay? There's no doubt about it. It's underway. It may be annoying after a while, like continually being denied a job or a loan, or maybe a yearly penalty is attached to your ID. So no tax return for you this year. ID says you were a bad kitty last year. And it may be annoying, okay, that the foolish behavior of a younger you dogs you for decades. There may come a point as more and more personal information is attached to your ID where you join others and oppose all this insidious digital surveillance. And that's when it hits you, okay? It hits you. You cannot protest. You see, the groundwork has been laid. The response from government towards the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa, well, that was the test. You know what I mean? It was the test. We now live in a place where a simple application of emergency orders can whitewash the entire justice system. I know my rights, you say. You just can't do away with the charter. Oh, yes, we can. See, get it through your head. You don't have rights. At most, you have, privileges we dole out as we please. You got that? Because again, we live in a world where, like I said, a simple application of emergency orders whitewash and do away with the entire justice system. Are we clear? If you actively oppose the digital ID, you will be ridiculed. I mean, there's no doubt about that, okay? If you actively oppose the digital ID, you'll be vilified, fined, and you will be jailed. What's that you say? Oh, I see. You've lived a squeaky clean life and you have no vision of any circumstance where a digital ID may be a hindrance on your life. Okay. Go with that for now. I'll just remind you of this. Millions of Canadians were just like you, only 3 short years ago or so. They spent a lifetime as good, law-abiding citizens and upstanding community members. But when they decided, They didn't want interference into their personal medical decisions. Look how quickly they were turned into hated criminals. Hated criminals. It was like almost overnight. And you helped your captors. You did, you know. You looked the other way as they were vilified. You cheered as their protests were torn down, remember? I mean, you applauded government overreach that jailed the protesters. You didn't, and here's to hoping you live your life free of any bad habits or mistakes. Okay? And also here's to hoping that government doesn't turn you into a villain overnight for not willingly surrendering some kind of fundamental right you previously had. Digital ID will expose your demons, no matter how small, everywhere you go. And when the government changes the rules, oh well, guess what? You're trapped. Because you sat by and cursed those who stood for and fought against a total surveillance state. Oh, and just for the record, the politicians making this shit up, they won't be surveilled like this. You know that, right? No. They'll be rich for selling you out. They'll be the benefactors of your slavery. But guess folks like me are just conspiracy theorists, right?